Good morning and welcome back to Plannercraft. I'm Natalie and I'm going to be taking you through a little tag project today. So I've already primed my MDF with some white gesso, so I've used the Pretty Gets Gritty one and that's pretty much dry. So before we go too far, I was going to say let's do mornings.
You got Zena, Deb and Irene.
So morning Zena, morning Deb, morning Irene.
Linda.
And if you're lurking in the background, don't be afraid to say hi, we're all friendly.
Linda and Tracy.
Hello, hello. So one of the questions on the group was about deco paper and how we can do wooden plaques and things like that. So I thought I would take you through that a little bit today. And I thought I had some deco paper. But like most things, it seems to have vanished into the ether. So I'm going to grab some rice paper instead. And I'm going to create some texture with that. So I won't use the full sheet. So I'll fold it in half. Just going to grab a ruler. Slide it in. And come on. Now you want to, there we go. Put that over there. So you would do your deco paper in exactly the same way as what I'm going to do this morning. So I'm going to go in with some gel medium. So transparent gel medium is better for your lighter colours.
Morning, Carol.
Morning, Carol.
Okay, Natty's back in charge today, so all should be well.
I don't know about that. So what I have done is I've already prepped my file that I'm going to be cutting to go on here. And if you want me to pop up a video on how we did that, I can do. I took screenshots as I did it, so Ian can always put that together in a quick video if he wants to.
Morning, Faye, or evening, Faye, I should say, if you're in Australia.
It's always fun when you're applying gel medium because you can't really see it on the white. But it doesn't matter too much if you miss a few bits and pieces because we're going to go back over the top with some more gel medium in a minute. Okay. So I'm going to literally put this on top and I'm going to try and create some crinkles and wrinkles. I just want it to do some texture for us. So we can lift bits up, move it, twist it, like so. And we're going to get some more gel medium on our brush.
And we have
Morning Jenny on YouTube.
Yay. And morning, Remain. New South Wales. That's quite close to you, isn't it, Tracy?
So, as we're doing this, and what I will do is once we have got all the crinkles and wrinkles that we want in it, we will set it aside to dry while we cut our pieces so that we're not trying to paint directly onto wet gel medium because that doesn't work very well.
Morning, Tanya.
Make sure you go around your edge as well.
I just said you'd have been teasing me yesterday, Carol. You weren't in trouble.
We had a lot of laughs yesterday.
We did.
Mainly because I had an attack of the giggles. because Ian went a little bit insane with the size of his wreath to go on the door.
Yeah, so Carol's asked if with the elves on the shelf stole my wreath and quadzillioned it.
Okay. So sometimes you'll find that as you do this, it'll start to willingly tear, so you can go with it while it's still damp. And that means you get a nice feathered edge rather than getting like a cut edge around the outside. And with your rice paper pieces, you can always set them to one side and use them on another project, or if you want to add a bit more crinkles in places that maybe you've missed. But if you did miss Ian's video yesterday, it's worth going back for a giggle.
If nothing else.
As you're doing this, you're going to notice that there's some areas that are a little bit lifted, and we can go back and sort that out with a paintbrush in a minute. So how are we doing for time, Ian?
We're fine.
We're fine.
Yeah, you're only 10 minutes in.
Okay. So for our tag today, we're going to be doing some vinyl work. We're going to be doing some card cutting.
Morning, Sandra.
Morning, Brandon.
Morning, Brandon.
So I'm just going to work my way around the edges as well, if you've got any pieces that are gone over the edge. And it is going to be slightly sticky, so when you're going around with your paint, just be cautious when you're lifting off your fingers and thumbs. So a little bit more wherever you've got bubbles rather than creases. And that'll just help those flatten out. Now for today I'll just do this one side, but usually I'd say do both sides on this one. More of a tag rather than a sign that you might put on the wall. And where you've got a hole, just poke it through with your paintbrush, and then you can get your bristles in there and just push it around so that we get a nice finish around there. So I'm going to pop that on there, put the lid back on my gel medium. And just because I don't have a sink in the craft room, I'm just going to wrap the paintbrush in a baby wipe now, so it doesn't set. So yes, it's rice paper, and you can actually print on it if you want to. You can stamp onto it, you can spray it before applying it. And then it's stuck on with the gel medium, so this is the Pretty Gets Pretty gel medium, and underneath that we have a layer of white gesso, which is the Pretty Gets Gritty one. When you're doing your gesso, just make sure you go around your edges really well, so that the scorch marks don't bleed through your paint, especially if you're going with a light colour. no good. At some point we're going to have to go travelling, so all these places are familiar to us too. You never know. So with that kind of washed off as close as we can get to it, I'm going to set this to one side. Now my little helper has gone away. So I'll switch on to my machine view. Turn on. Okay. Go to canvas and I'll change the display so you can see what I'm doing. Display. Oh, that's early. I wasn't expecting that. Okay. If I'd have known that was coming, I'd have done this differently. So, I have here a rough size for my tag, a worded sentiment here that I want to cut out of vinyl, so you can see I've put white vinyl on the layer here, and then I have these two little deer shapes. Now all these designs are from craft bundles rather than design bundles, and you get them when you share craft bundles out on your Facebook, off the top of my head I believe. So what I've done is I've grouped them by colour layer. So I have the black, the blush, the brown, the cream, the blue being the dark blue here in the scarf, and white. And I was going to cut those all out of card and be really good and use up my offcuts, but I'm so tempted to be naughty now. I've got vinyl. And hiding away I have another little reindeer which I was going to try and squeeze on, but there was just not enough room. So that's quite a cute little collection to use. So I'm going to start off with my vinyl. And we can hide our background shape too, because we don't need to cut that. Here you go now. Now, shall we go and put a reading box on using the auto? Doodad. Doodad, doodad.
Yeah, go on then.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, I don't even got a seat anymore.
I only moved it there because, well, you weren't there to hold it. Okay. So do I go for the fancy stuff or do I do it in white?
Take your pick.
I'll do it in white.
Have you got a sheet of it there, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay, do you want to put it back to camera overhead?
Yes, please.
They're dinky.
They are dinky.
Okay, it's back on you.
Okay. Very dinky. They're dinkier than expected, though.
Do we know what font it is, Nat?
No, it came like that. Okay, so because our vinyl was rolled, we've got a bit of a crease going on, so if I tilt you back that way for a second, pop that up, and I'll bring that in. So if you open your vinyl, you get this sort of thing going on. Best thing to do is to peel it back and let it sort of reseat itself, because otherwise if you put it in and it's got a wrinkle, and it's going to struggle to cut it nicely. So I'm just going to do that. You want to try and get your bubbles out.
Yeah, and what was the file that you used, Nat?
It's a freebie from Craft Bundles, as opposed to design bundles. I'm sure Ian can put up a link when he has a hand free in a minute.
I have a spare hand to find it, yeah. Let me just have a quick look back.
I've filled his hands for the moment. Oh. wouldn't say my mat's strong, but that was stuck to the stamp platform, and the stamp platform was like, I'm not letting go. Okay.
Did you say happy birthday to Faye?
I didn't, because I didn't see the comment about birthdays.
Okay, it's Faye's birthday today, so happy birthday, Faye.
And then is Sandra in to say
Sandra's
happy,
in as well, so
happy birthday for early in the week to Sandra. So I'm just going to go okay.
and morning Megs as well. She's joined us. Trying to keep up with all the people.
So I'm going to go to retrieve data from the internet, and we can see our design just here. Now I know that it's all one piece, so I haven't got to worry about grouping it so that I can move it. Okay, we can move that a bit more over here.
What are they for?
Yeah, that's what I said, they're a bit dinky than what we expected.
Okay. What were you expecting any for? Were you expecting 12 by 12?
I was expecting 12 by 12.
Japanese monster.
And let's see if my mat will load today.
First time.
It was playing up yesterday. Even off stream it was playing you up yesterday. Oh, I made it a little low. Okay, let me see if I can get just a bit better.
Look on that one. That's better.
There we go. So if I go to OK, and I'm going to go to cut. Because we're doing vinyl, we're going to go into our settings.
Turn on your reading box.
I was going to turn on half cut first. So we turn it on half cut, so we only cut the top layer of our vinyl rather than going all the way through. Our cut pressure is at -6 currently. And I can turn on my weeding box, so it's going to do an automatic weeding box now. And you can set the amount of spacing that you have around your design. That's very much it, isn't it?
Yeah.
And there we go, so you can see it's put a box around our design, and then we can get our vinyl blade. So that's the pale blue top one. And pop that into your machine. And then we can just go start.
Surprise. Yeah. Because you have to put it on each time
Yeah.
rather than...
I don't always use the auto weeding box function, to be honest. It really does depend on the design. This design's quite filled within that rectangular space, but sometimes you might be doing like an arch, and then you're actually better off making your own.
Hi Judy, welcome to the group.
And you'll get there with it. They do have quite a learning curve to them, don't they?
They do. But as you can see, we have the 1200, so we use it quite a lot on stream. So do go back and have a look. If you need help with setting up or anything like that, there are videos on Plannercraft that show you how to set up the STX 1200, right from getting it out of the box, right through, don't they? So we went through all the network setup and everything else with it as well.
Tonking that today.
Yeah, if we're just catching something back. But do go back and catch up on all the videos. There's a good 200 videos to catch up on. So. If you have any questions that you want to ask, do ask away. We don't mind. And there's no such thing as a daft question.
Sorry.
That's good.
And for those that are watching that don't have a DX, we do have a CM as well that we can show demos on. So if you do have any questions about your CM, don't think, oh, they don't do CMs. Yes, we do. It's right behind me.
And high shell as well. Have you mentioned about the poster being up?
No, I haven't, so I'll let you.
Okay, so if you haven't seen, I bought a few cut files and cut them, but I'd like to learn how to cut my own.
Okay. In which case, Judy, if you want to learn to cut your own cut files, there's two options. We have an intro course that is running in January, which will cover, we're doing a day per software, so you choose whichever software you want to learn and then you can sign up. And I'm currently writing a book that should be out end of November, early December, which covers Illustrator, Affinity, CorelDRAW and Inkscape. We were going to put Canvas in as well, but there's just not enough room.
Also, if you haven't already, have a look at our book as well, which is available on Amazon, which is a excellent guide to your SDX. Book 1 is a good starting. It's got lots of little projects in it, and it's excellent for picking up little hints and tips as well. That's available on Amazon.
Okay. So,
Right, you're doing okay.
with vinyl, before you take it out of your machine, let's see if I can get a bit of a better photo.
White on white, it's just
Yeah, white on white's never going to be a good one to see. You can see the bubbles more than you can see the cut points.
You can just about make it. What's the book called, please? It's Go Create, book 1. I'll pop you a link up, Judy, and then you can, if you want to, it'll take you through to the Amazon page for it.
Okay. So one of the benefits of doing a weeding box is we can check our cut without taking it out on the machine. So if we lift a corner of our weeding box, we can start to peel and just check that everything is cut. So it's not done a bad job. I think it's probably just struggling to release the adhesive actually. So it looks like that might be okay. So with that, I'll take it out.
Well, you can take it out of the machine. Be brave, are you?
I'm going to be brave and take it out the machine so that I can do the weeding. Okay.
Right, do you want to change camera?
I'm just going to do my little pieces first, I think, because the outside weeding box acts like a good frame for the really tricky bits that you weed. So you can use like an nail polish ring as a easy way of storing all your little bits and pieces that you weed out.
So just off a little bit there. Okay. Can I put a link up for the file you used? Let's see if I can find it. Where was it on? Did you say craft?
Craft bundles. And it may have been from sharing, but the only thing with craft bundles is it doesn't tell you that when you go back into it after. It tells you it's craft bundles, and that's it.
Right, bear with me, Karen. I'll see if I can find the file. If I can't find it now, I will put it up in the group later.
Yeah, you try your best.
I always do.
Okay. So there's some really intricate bits, and that's one of the beauties of using vinyl. So if we were to cut this out of card, it would make it a little bit too detailed. Need to do the centre of that A.
You know what it was called?
Should be it, I think. Let's see how we go. if your print starts to lift where it shouldn't, just poke it back through. And that's what you have your hooking tool for. So you can just poke it through. Let's just catch that big leg there. There we go. Now there's some really fine detail up here. Patience is everything.
Yeah, that's okay, Deb. Because I think the 3 inner ones only roll when you have it on a thicker material, so they're there to support thicker materials when they go through. So as long as on a normal roll,
We're all checking their rollers.
yeah, everybody's been checking their rollers. So that's what I think the 3 inner ones are for. So as long as your 2 outside ones are rolling and they're rolling at the same time, that's the implant will stop it skewing, or should stop it skewing.
Next bit. Now, if you're doing something like this and you're struggling to see where your cut lines are, which isn't the easiest, I have to say, then you may want to consider investing in, or using if you have already, a light box. Because then you can see your cut lines much easier.
Is it that one that you've just changed the colours on?
Oh, no, but that's another one. It's in that same
Range.
yeah.
Okay.
I haven't got that one. Might add that one to my list. And you can snip into this as well if you're starting to find it's getting a bit tricky. So like for instance up here it's lifted that bit there. So it needs to come back up. Yeah, that's one. That's my spare one that I haven't put on yet.
Oh, okay.
So
Don't need to add that one just yet then. See if I can find the one that you use.
you can add that one though.
I'll see if I can find the one you're using first. I know it's there at least, so it's on page 2.
I'll just make this a little less awkward. I'm just going to trim that bit. And then I can just go round this outside section. Now, if you are really struggling with a design and you can't get it to read, sometimes you're better off doing a technique called reverse weeding, and that's where you apply your transfer tape first.
Okay, night Faye. Hope you've had a good birthday. The insects are attacking your iPad.
Huh?
The insects are attacking the iPad.
Oh dear, that's not good.
No.
I'm just going to snip that and snip that there. So. Okay. Go around mid-ear. More off. find it right now before we come back round here. So, because I've got that little point, I'm just going to snip it there for a moment. Let's start it from this end.
There it is.
A bit more.
Right, there's a link to the file that Natalie is using for the one she's just done out of vinyl.
Yeah, so you can see how much of a paint can be to it. It's not that bad. I've had worse. I've had far, far, far worse. Okay. I'm just going to snip that there. Let's take that out there. Let's do an easy one. Okay.
Big bit between the second page and the other.
Okay, I'll work my way around this E. It's been tricky. That's going to go.
That's right, Cal.
What's
I
that?
found it eventually.
I did say you were going to do a thing on organising your files, didn't I?
That's supposed to be on the PC, wasn't it?
Yeah, PC misbehaved.
But PC not worky.
Sticking to me rather than. Yeah,
Yeah, I didn't know if that's right. Still missing one.
I'm working my way round. Okay. So, next we need some transfer tape.
There should be a piece cut off.
Right, big one. Why do the bits that we cut off and everything to stay where that they should be? Okay. So we could do an extra square on that. The transfer tape I use is by Tech Wrap, and if you buy it now, it won't have this lovely purple grid on it. It will have a grey one instead. They've just updated it. So if you're looking for this on our Amazon shop, it's actually got the grey grid rather than the purple. Next trick, let's do it with scissors. I can go into here and I'm just going to cut around the edge of my reading box. So usually I do this with a knife so that I'm not wasting any more vinyl.
Cut the top bit off. I know you're frugal.
Okay. Take that bit off from around the outside, otherwise we're going to put our transfer tape on it. No, I'm not put this on my paper.
Shouldn't be matte back.
That's okay. So when you peel it off, you're going to see it's transparent and it has this grid, so we can use the line of the grid to make sure our text is straight. And you're going to rub that straight onto there. You want to press it down well.
You leave the back enough now.
Yeah, I need to paint now. So is my piece dry?
You might want to blast that.
Oh, it's not bad. It's just shiny.
That's shiny, is it?
Yeah.
Usually when they're shiny they're still wet, so.
Okay. Who thought it would be a good idea to trim my nails last night?
Is that a new pot, is it?
Yeah. There we go. I haven't got this colour, so just in case we open the pot.
Okay, because that's really, really funny.
Really, really, really winny. So I'm going to start off with an all over coat.
Morning, Ruth.
Give this a little stir actually because it's separated a little. There we go. It can be mucky. Might need to clean that up a bit.
You're making a mess again.
Yeah. Okay, there we go. That's more like it. Just use a baby wipe. There we go. So the paint I'm using is by Daily Art, and the colour is mint. There you go, dear. Right at the bottom. There you go. Still a bit. Let's get in there. My paintbrush is going to hate me, but there you go. You you got mucky. Oh dear.
Maybe try it would be easier to wash off dry.
Yeah. Yeah, it just peels off your hands.
What's that, PVA?
Yeah. Essentially, because it's acrylic paint, which is what PVA is really.
What have we missed? So far we've done
Vinyl cutting, weeding.
an it's MDF plaque, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which you put some rice paper on with some white gesso.
White gesso and gel medium to make the rice paper stick.
and we've cut a Merry Christmas out of some white vinyl.
I'm also going to try and do the back as well.
Brave.
Well, if you do it thin enough, it shouldn't take that long to dry. And it's better that you do it now than you try and do it when it's all wobbly. So do you want to just show the file very quickly, Ian, while I'm doing that, so everybody can see what I've done so far?
File?
Yeah.
So the bit you've cut out.
In Canvas, yeah. So the bit I've cut out, and also the next bit, so you can send it ready.
Oh, what's your next bit?
Tan next, please.
Tan. Okay. So this is what Natalie's cut out of the white vinyl, and the link is up in the chat. If you want to scroll back through the chat, the link is up in there for the file for that bit. So tan. Is that the brown?
Yeah.
Next we have some cute little reindeers, or deer, I'm not quite sure, that we're going to be attaching. Where are these? These are another file, are they?
Yeah. Yeah, so you've got 4 separate files in that document at the moment.
Oh, you're a pain in the bum.
You mean you didn't find those ones?
No.
Oh dear. So, as I was saying earlier, make sure you go around your edges so that you don't get any sort of
So you want me to
missed
send that one?
areas. Yes please, in the brown, yeah.
Yeah. So to send it, I'm going to do Command and E, which is export. There's little bits were removed, and we're going to transfer it via the internet because we have the Wi-Fi set up. Okay, so that's ready to go back to you.
Okay, I'm nearly done.
So that's back on overhead for you.
So if we do our edges last, they tend to take longer to do, and then your section on the back that we've already painted is still drying while we're doing this. Okay, and then I'm just going to go back over any bits I think need a little bit more paint, and we can pop our lid back on our paint. So this is another new colour. So this is Calypso Blue. So you've only seen me use this one before.
Does that need stirring?
Yeah.
Do it again.
Yeah. I would not usually recommend doing this with your paintbrush, to be fair. It's not what paintbrushes are for. But this one gets used and abused. So it gets used for gesso, it gets used for gel medium. And all it is just a natural bristle brush. So this bit I could do with some scrap paper. Because I want to try and take some of this paint off a little. It's okay. I'll do without. I'll go around from the edges first. I'm just going to brush this in. So as the brush gets dry, then we can start to bring it into the centre a bit more, because it was there to catch the wrinkles. And try and keep the brush strokes sort of horizontal, so it keeps that look of it being warm wood.
you like to wipe that up quick?
Yes, please. Just a bit more on this edges around here. Just going to go round and tidy our edges. Otherwise it's going to take a bit of while to dry. Huh? Okay, so I'm just going to blend that top edge in. I've gone down that side. And we can do the same on the back, so at least be consistent. Bit of mist in there. Okay. Can I just have a baby wipe, please?
No.
I'll attack you with a baby candle. Huh? You right? Are you right, Ian?
Mm-hmm.
You stuck? Pained?
Mm-hmm.
What have you done? Okay, I'll try and clean up my hand a little. Sure, I'm just moving on the tape there. Caught blue-handed. So next, let's go for
The eye's okay, it's just my back. My back locked up.
Okay. Now usually I'd wait until this is a bit drier to do this next bit.
Do a quick blast.
Shall I?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's always going to mess up you.
It's a very lovely scent. It gets used for everything at the moment.
Yeah, it's by Pretty Gets Pretty and it's called Pretty Acoustic.
Yeah. You can tell how often I use it by the fact that Ian knows the name. I've given that blast dry, I'm going to do my vinyl next. Because otherwise it's trying to align the dots is going to be a bit of a nightmare, I think. So, I'm going to give it a good press down. And then start from one edge and work your way across. So sometimes you'll find this does this bit really easy and it's
morning, Liz.
It'll release straight away. Other times it'll be a bit more fiddly and you'll have to just go back down and just press it back down. And that bit there is going to, there we go.
Things to be wary of if you've got dots on eyes and stuff, isn't it? That usually end up coming off when you've got lowercase letters and stuff like that. It's always good to be wary of.
With all the best will in the world, there's going to be occasions when it doesn't release where you think it's going to. Come on. Next bit. Bits do shift, you can just ease it back off and just let it, there we go. Just pulling the paint off my fingers. Okay, so I'm going to flip it over and we're ready to go. Can you just flick back to my display for me so I can see where I'm going?
Oh, put it on here,
yeah.
You want to turn it on?
Yep, the vinyl and the shape. Down the bottom. Okay, so we're going over slightly to the right and up a bit. Technical that. It's about an inch. So we can start to use our grid lines as a measuring guide as well. Just going to go for that there. And we can give it a good press down. So because we're working onto a textured surface, don't be afraid to get in there with like a ball tool, or especially as you're working with transfer tape. I wouldn't suggest doing this directly onto the vinyl itself, you won't like it much. So we can just lightly press in. If you look from the side, you can tend to see where it's not quite sitting down on the surface yet. So you can press it down and get it in the nooks and crannies. It's gotten awfully quiet. Is the fan okay?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there you go, it's coming back. So if you're doing this onto a smooth surface, you can just use a squeegee and you'll be fine. I'm only doing this because it's textured. And I've done some videos with putting vinyl onto glass and things like that. So I thought for this one I'd do something a bit different. And vinyl is really good for doing these kind of intricate designs. If you were to cut that from paper, you wouldn't be anywhere near as successful.
Could you use a beret to press it down?
Yes. The only reason I'm using a ball tool on this one is just because you've got little tiny spaces where you need to get it into.
Where did we find your ball tool that was still available?
Oh, it was one of the websites, wasn't it? Like Crafty Cottage or something like that. It was really random.
because this one's a Dovecraft one, isn't it?
Yeah, and it has 5 different holes that you can slot in instead. I tend to keep this one in here because it's just handy, and then I have a separate one for my knife. It comes with the knife, the pokey tool, the veining tool,
Pencil.
and a pencil. Must admit, I haven't used the pencil much. It's a bit of an odd way to use a pencil. A little bit just there. So as we're starting to peel off, what you want to just check is if it's managed to weld itself to the surface, because I don't want to go too much over the top with my board tool directly if I can help it. So there's a little bit just there that needs to go down. And what I love about transfer tape is you can kind of go little bit by little bit by little bit. Oh, just pulled a little bit of paint there, but hey ho. Also, we're still a little bit damp in that one
Adds
place.
to the rustic look.
Yeah. Okay. And you can seal your vinyl if you want to. And there are times when I'd actually encourage you to do that. So. For instance, if you're going to put your sign outside, you definitely want to be sealing it, even if it's permanent vinyl. And I think I'm happy with that. So if I hold that up to camera, can you just flip back to the other view? There we go. So you can see close up what it looks like. Magic Skull. Okay. My ears playing up. Oh, that's weird. Oh, stop it. I also got like a no. Oh, no. Anyway.
Just go for it, yeah.
Oh, that was weird. Not nice. So, I'm going to go with some thick texture paste next. And we'll do some snow paste towards the end. But we'll go for our stencil texture pastes. I'm just going to do a few random little bits. So especially at this end of our tag, because our deer is designed to sit back just there. So we can go and do a little bit more up here. Okay. If it goes over the edge, just get your palette knife and just go on that edge there. And then I'm going to bring this over my design like so. So we can actually start to make our design look like it's sitting into our snow. So. Let's take a little bit more than that. I'm being a bit cautious there, not like me.
In the sense it's lovely. You should just download the file so that you can have a play. So you might try to draw it first rather than cut it though.
The Merry Christmas, yeah. Tell you what, it would look fantastic if you foiled it. Wouldn't it?
Yeah.
There we go. Now what I would say is, at this point, you might be tempted to rush ahead and go, right, okay, let's give it a blast with a heat gun. Don't do it. Because right now, with your vinyl, if you got that hot, it's going to just shrink and crinkle, and that's not a look that anybody wants. So there we go. Let's just try and sort out that top edge bit. There we go. So we can let that dry. And I'm going to go and pop these in the sink.
Sandra's going to have a go at foiling it later.
Yeah, it'll look fantastic foiled. So do you want to put the file onto the ScanNCut next, please, Ian?
It's done.
No, actually on the ScanNCut. So download it.
I move down across a little bit. Should be able to see what I'm up to. So we're going to go retrieve data, put it down from the internet, and there's our next bit that she's going to cut out. Yes, you can do foiling with the ScanNCut. You can either use a foil quill, which is a product by Wheel Memory Keepers, which does like a hot foiling, and you can also use a quickie glue pen with the universal pen holder, and you can use that to also do some foiling that way.
Yep, and if you go back through the videos, Judy, there's loads that we've done with foiling, isn't there?
Loads.
As Ian's actually created a foil shield. So when you're foiling with a foil quill, you have to put your foil straight onto your card, and the foil shield's there to save it going on your mat if you're working with something that's smaller than 12 by 12. Okay, so let's pop that out of the way for a minute. So we have our little tan bits here. I'm going to bring those up here. Now what I would say is I've got it grouped at the moment, and that was to make this bit easier. But if you're doing this and you're taking your time, if you do them as two separate groups, then you can move them right up and minimise the amount of waste that you have. So, bring on my mat, and right here. So I'm going to go for my dark tan first. So this is the same card that Ian was using yesterday for his gingerbread house. Come on, behave for me. Nope, it's going to be... It thinks it's you, look. And let me get level. Go on then. That's not straight, I think. No, it's not straight. Right, try again. And then that bit. So if you're finding that your rollers are being a pain...
You won't go under that one, I don't. You just have to try and get that one so it's just under.
Okay, go for it. Come on. come on. I don't want to have to clean the rollers again. Oh, you're going to be annoying. Come on. There we go. Naughty machine. Okay. So at this point, we know that our card is covering our mat, so we don't need to do a background scan this time, so I'm just going to go OK. Go to cut. Now, this is the important bit. Because we've done our vinyl on half cut, it's going to still have half cut turned on, even though the weeding box isn't showing. So if we go into settings, you're going to go down the screen, turn off your half cut. Go back up. So it's quite intricate what we're doing, so I'm going to leave my final blade in. And if we go start,
put it back a little bit so they can see the...
yeah, there we go. So while that's doing that, any questions? I might slow it down for his jumper. Right, let's check that's worked. There we go. That's right. That's jumper, and then this is where we're going to want to have our spatula so that we can get our lip pieces off a bit easier. So we have this little body, and he has some little dots on the back of him, which is the bits that you can see that it's tried to cut out. So they work better at larger scale. Okay, then we have, try and keep a separate pile for the waist. So we have his body, his head. Can I just see, just drag him? So one little pull. Make sure to get that one. There we go. And one little ear, which is that one. So it's always useful to keep your file open on a computer so that you've got a nice zoomed in version. So then we've got the other one up here. Let's move those out of the way for a second. So we have two hoofs. And his tail and his back legs. No, these are actually separate, aren't they? Yeah. So This one's going to be so much fun to stick down.
You can do all your cutting before you...
Yes. Yeah, so this is definitely one of those projects where you just want to sit and do your cutting first.
Quarter past 12.
That's okay. We're not going to do an afternoon one, are we? So I don't mind going a bit longer.
That's what colour do you want next?
Can I have the the antlers next? You could actually send the antlers and the blush out as that same card because it's kind of a pinky tinge to it. Just
So those bits.
there we go. Yep.
And turn off that one. Turn off that one. Yeah.
Yep. So if we go back home, okay, delete all patterns, and then we can retrieve the next bit. So we can go into edit, select all, go OK, and then we can drag those up to that top corner too. And again, because we've got them grouped, when we spaced out, when you're doing it, you can do them into individual layers and have it a little bit easier for yourself. Okay. Now because we've got some tiny bits, I'm just going to slow my speed down to 1. Brush wasn't too bad, so I won't change that.
What can you do next? Blue or black?
Let's go blue.
That's that ready for you. Did we mention post onion?
I don't know if you did.
I think you got sidetracked, didn't we? So just a quick note to people who answered our question on the group about the A4 double-sided poster. It's now available at Buy Me a Coffee. And it costs £4, and it is a physical product, so it will be posted out to you, and it will be out by the end of, well, we're hoping to get them dispatched the end of next week.
Shall I answer Linda's question?
Yeah.
Okay, so the SDX Pro is actually a newer model, but a lower spec, and that's not going to be worth trying to stick, so I will do that. And to make life a little easier, I think I'm going to mount it onto some of that white card because it doesn't have like a separate mount. So if I at this point grab the white card, just jump yourself on the floor there, card. Put these bits on here. Come on. There we go. It's going to stick everywhere except on there. And we have our little one. Just because we're going to be working onto blue, it just needs that little bit of white to pop behind it, I think. Okay, now let's get me little antlers. Cool, blimey, they're tiny. This is definitely going to be a refer to file when I stick these together.
So again, do it offline and put it together.
What do you think, guys? Do you want to see me put it all together? And then doing the offset? Or would you rather I did it off stream and then show you the finished product when it's done? Okay. So which bit are you sent next? The blue?
Blue.
Blue. So I have a sheet of decorative paper. This is from a B&M pad. It's the navy one, oating one. So it's got kind of this fabric effect to it. So this is going to be used for their jumper and scarf.
And they suggest please, so long as no problem for you.
No, it's no problem to stay on, is it?
No.
Just don't want to bore you all. Okay, gonna go back home again.
And Irene says I would if you have time, and Linda says yes please if no trouble.
Okay, so we've got our 2 blue pieces, and again we can move that up towards the top. Now if you wanted to at this stage, and if it's important to you, you can do a background scan. So to do that, you're going to press this icon just here. You're then going to go to start, and it's going to go all the way through the machine and back again.
No, if you buy the Duo mat from Artistics, when you do a background scan, if you're using a 12 by 12 background, it will spit it out the top and you have to push it back through to get it to return. So just be wary if you are buying an Artistics mat. If you go for the Duo, which is a dual-ended one, it does have an issue with the scanning.
Okay, so let me zoom back in so you can see that a little bit clearer.
Everybody said yes please. So.
Okay, so if we go to settings at this point, we can actually boost our scan. So if we can't see our pattern clear enough, we can actually make it a little bit darker. And likewise, if it's too dark, we can go back the other way. So I can more or less see where my cut file is, and I just want to line it up so that I get as much blue as possible. That's looking pretty good there. So I can go and check it again if I want to. Yep, so there's my jumper, there's my scarf. I can go OK. Back to cut, and off it goes again.
Which one do you want next?
So one of the benefits of doing this is if we were using the CM, we'd have to change our blade each time we're changing card. So, so far we've used American Crafts card, which is usually about, what, a 6, 7?
Yeah.
The BM pads tend to be a little bit thinner, aren't they? So they're definitely more of a 6.
Do you want Mike next?
Yes, please.
No, leave that one on. Turn that one on.
Now this one may or may not work because it's quite tiny. This next one.
It's ready when you are.
Okay. But they'd also be really fun to cut these nice and big, and create like a
village scene.
Yeah, with giant deer.
Giant reindeer to go with a giant wreath.
You could put the wreath around the reindeer's neck. You know, he's still making me laugh with that last night. So let us know if you're still watching on YouTube as well.
People laughing. That one lasted a long time.
Well, we're here and we've got a bit of a lull. We need to do a bit more on the competition, don't we? We haven't got that many entries yet. Come on. You stand to win a 3D Fun Prints limited edition Planecraft foil quill adapter, wire tidy, and Universal and Sharpie pen sets. So it's worth joining in. There are 3 categories. You have most innovative Christmas card. You have most eco-friendly Christmas card. And you have minimalist Christmas card. Okay. Oh. There we go. Yeah, super sticky mat. Very carefully going to peel this one up. So just be aware that where you've got the thin bits, it's going to be a bit more fragile, especially on the super sticky mat. Okay, so the little one has a scarf, and I can take the waist out in a minute. Then we have, again, a little tiny piece. May not make the full transition, but we'll try.
Do you use a special holder for the pen sets? No, they fit normally into the pen holders that we give away with our competition.
Literally go straight into your machine.
Yeah, go straight into your machine as the universal pen holders do. The only difference being when you put in the 3D fun ones is it will tell you to attach appropriate hold. You just press OK and then select what you want to cut again, and it'll carry on. We've had 100 messages today with Restream.
That's good. Makes Facebook happy.
It's given us a little.
Okay, so you sent the white next, didn't you?
I did.
Thank you. I was thinking then, where's the white curve one? Now, hopefully this will be enough without breaking through another strip. Now this is a thicker bit of card, so this is going to be a nice challenge for a vinyl blade.
Let's cut it twice.
Yeah. But if we were to do it with the standard blade, I know it couldn't handle the detail that is in this file.
Yeah, the foiling kits, Ruth, there's going to be invoices going out later today.
Yep, that's your job for later.
Yeah, it's my job later. So all the bits that have been ordered on the Christmas kits, except for book that Natalie's currently writing,
yeah,
I will be invoicing for this afternoon, and then I should be getting those ordered, and then that will be, hopefully, depending on how long they take to get dispatched, we should have it out by the end of next week, I hope. So keep an eye on your inboxes for invoices heading your way for anything you may have ordered on the Christmas boxes.
Just going to bring that down a little bit. Okay, so we have these little snowflakes. Now these may or may not work. If they don't work, then that's fine because we've got other snowflakes that we can add. And we'll give it a go and see how it goes. So normally the machine has a minimum size of a 3mm shape, but if it's subtracted for something else it can go much smaller. So if ever you want to do something small, that's usually the way to go. Yes, the 3D Fingerprints Holders are much better than the Brother ones. For starters, Brother don't do one yet that fits a Sharpie. And the universal pen holder is so much easier to use than the Brother one, because with the Brother one you have to do like a lift and a twist. So if you have any kind of dexterity problems whatsoever, it's really awkward. Even I find it awkward.
You want to lift up so I can see?
Yeah. There you go, cameraman. And the 3D Fingerprints ones also have the ability to use round pens. So for instance, if you have the Staedtler Tri Plus, they will fit in it, even though they've got triangular barrel. If you've got the Inkjoy pens that have a cap, they will fit in it because they have like a hexagonal barrel, don't they? You even have Inkjoy pens that have a triangular barrel with a stylus on top, which are funky, and they fit in it too. Speaking of Inkjoys, I've put up on the group a load of Amazon Black Friday deals this morning. An absolute load. So there's Inkjoy pens for your holder, there's Sharpies, there's some liquid watercolours that look really interesting to use. Even though they look like they may be for kids, they look like they may do some really funky effects. There was some brush pens with fine liners on the other end, so if you really get into your brush pens and brush lettering, those might be something you might like to look at. I put up some graphics tablets. There's a very, 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 very nice graphics tablet with a spring built in for about £230.
Say it quickly.
Say it quickly, it doesn't sound so bad. And that's a 13-inch, so it's about the same size as the screen on a MacBook Pro.
Good blimey.
And then there's a 22-inch one. So all of those are on the group. So it's ScanNCut and Papercraft courses, classes and workshops by Plannercraft. And I'm sure Ian will put up a link because it's much easier than me trying to point you in the direction. It's such a long-winded title, but I was trying to capture as many people as possible if they're searching for ScanNCut. Okay, so that's not quite all the way through. It hasn't done too bad of a job, so we can send it through again. So when you're cutting, don't think, oh, if it hasn't done it first time, I can't do it. Nope, you just send it round again. So long as you haven't taken out the mat and you haven't moved the card, you're fine to go and put it back through.
Yeah. Nope, Judy, don't be afraid of asking lots of questions. You know, we're here to answer lots of questions, so by all means ask away. If we're not streaming and you want to ask a question, if you're in the group, just ask.
And tag one of us.
Tag one of us, and we will.
Because Facebook
answer.
doesn't always tell us, is the issue.
No, we do our best to catch up and catch them all, but do drop us a message and we'll quite happily answer any questions we can.
Yeah. We usually sort of round the group most of the day until, probably 11 PM our time.
Later than we should be.
Yeah. And we're usually back on at about 7.
Depending what time Natalie wakes up and if the iPad's got any battery in it.
Yeah. It's usually the first thing I do. And then if it's anything like this morning, I'll roll back home and go back off to sleep, which really wasn't a good idea. But no, there's on our Buy Me a Coffee we've got access to fonts that we've shown on stream, there's files that we've used on stream, there's Ian's foil quill, a platform for your stamp platform, so you've got inserts to go in there and templates, which I still want to get through round to doing another stream on, because I haven't done the border one yet. I've done lots on the rotated one.
And a new one that you've done as well.
No, well, I'm waiting to have that produced. Going to do that the same way as you want to do your foil quill, but sized for the Tim Holtz one, or the Big Misty.
I think you get somebody who makes the stencils to do it. Cut out thick stencil material.
Oh, that's thick. It's thick and it's sticky. Okay. Now let's see how we can. Oh,
I think it has. It's just hooked a little bit.
it's just, yeah, it's. Going to be a lift carefully. There we go. So some came up and some stayed in. Just going to give it a little bit of encouragement to get up. So there's one snowflake. So these are the snowflakes for our little guy. Little snowflake. And then all of the ones for our big reindeer stayed on the mat. So we can take those off. So I'm going to put these down here.
Okay, Linda, no worries.
Just need a little help coming out of its card. Oh, hang on. No, got it. There we go. So that's a big snowflake. Another big snowflake. This one's welded to the mat. I was imagining to be right by him, but a bit too much glue. There we go. So that's it for cutting, isn't it? No.
No.
Ooh, nearly. Right. Some black.
Have I sent the black yet?
I don't think you are.
Jacqueline, I've never cut MDF, but now I'm tempted to try. How would I paint MDF to get a nice smooth finish? What sort of paint to acrylic?
Okay, so in terms of cutting MDF, I wouldn't suggest doing that in ScanNCut. You need to reach out to somebody who's got a laser cutter, and there's quite a few about. So we even have somebody locally that we can approach about that, actually. Can I see the rest of the question?
Type of paint, smooth
Type
finish.
of paint. For a smooth finish. Okay, to get smooth finish, it's more down to your technique. So, first of all, you're going to do some nice thin layers of gesso and try and sand between each one so that you're removing your brush strokes. Then when you come to do your acrylic on top, you're going to want to go really carefully because you don't want to sand that, because otherwise you'll disturb your top coat. So you just want to try and keep your brush with as little painting as possible to get the kind of coverage that you're looking for, so it doesn't like ooze. Okay, so I'm going to pull the last layer down. Hang on. There we go. Off of it. There we go.
That's it.
And we're going to move it up to this top edge. Okay. Cut. Now these bits are absolutely tiny, so it may or may not work. If it doesn't work, I can draw it in by pen, but we'll see how it goes.
2 mil.
Two mil, you could draw onto 2 mil. You can foil onto 2 mil. You
Could you
can etch, probably with something like the etch quill or the Chroma's Creations etching tool. But I wouldn't suggest actually cutting it, even if it was like 1 mil. I suppose if you had the deep cut blade and it went round and round and round and round and round for like a basic shape, but I certainly wouldn't, like, say, do a wood or something like that. So let's see how this did. Oh, this looks promising. So we have our little one. Oh, no. Little eye. Now let's see if I can, so you can see how tiny this is. So if I hold that on the mat so you can get a sense of scale, it is absolutely tiny. And then we've got the little nose. Then we've got another little nose, or a big one. And we have another little tiny eye. I'm just going to gently nudge that off the mat. So again, teeny, teeny, tiny, teeny. And at this point now I can unload the mat, can't I? Because I've done all my layers.
Yeah, you've got your spare reindeer, but...
Yeah, yeah. So I'll unload that. I'll probably end up loading it again just to do an offset with my little reindeer when it's all stuck down, but... Let's grab my little snowflakes. Now I'm not going to stick those onto the white card, but I don't want to lose them. Okay. I'll move them up the top. And there's all our little pieces. So if I move that off, so I know those are those snowflakes. And those are those snowflakes. And he's going to pop it up for me for a second so that I can see my design.
Yeah, I was just having a look at the camera, making sure that was okay.
I have a little scarf.
Yeah, do you want to answer that one quickly?
Right, the artistics ones stay far tackier than the rubber ones do. We have restuck this one just because I'm still waiting for some replacements, aren't I?
Mm-hmm.
So when those come through I can change my mat. In terms of how I restick them, I do use a Zig glue pen, and when I do it I put one there of Zig. When Ian does it he went a bit heavy-handed. Just a tad. So hence my mat is super sticky at the moment. Okay, so I'm going to start off with my little reindeer.
Let me put this
So
up
I'm
on
going
the
to
phone
work
so I can
from
still
the...
see comments.
Yeah, please do. Don't forget to put your phone on silent.
Yeah, don't use.
I was going to use my glue pen, but you know what? Let's use some sticks too, because it's just a bit quicker. Okay. So if I build the pieces first, then I can always do angles and things when it comes to cutting them out. So if they're not perfect, don't mind. So
Did
if
you
I
say that if she wanted an artistics mat to let us know?
Oh, I didn't know. So if you do want an artistics mat, just drop us a little message, as we do have a discount code you can use for watching the streams.
It's our little thank you, isn't it?
Yeah. So fluffy Snowflake here. Just going to grab the pokey tool. I'm just going to use that to kind of twist it round to where I want it. And then we can press it down in place. So the glue I use is Sticks to Anything 3D PVA, and I'm using one of their detail applicator bottles for it.
Judy says, oh, thank you.
Okay. So, scarf kind of comes under the head that way. Oh, that's going to be fun. To try and get the angle on. Okay. Might leave that floating for a second. Let's do this one. It's nice and tricky for working out the spacing. Oh, don't stick to me. That's it. So that's going to go underneath. Like so. And this one's going to come tipped a little bit just there. That looks about right. Then we got his little body. Just underneath there, like so. Then we have his other little leg. Now, if you're working at tiny scale like this, it's a good idea to use single-sided card, just so you know which way round your pieces are going to go. Because there's nothing worse than having got this far and sticking a piece upside down. We've all done it.
That's usually the sort of thing I do.
I didn't say that. Okay, so that's
I get it in before anybody else did.
Oh. There's your leg. And we have
Antlers and ears.
Antlers and ears to go. So big antler first, because his other little antlers come off his one ear. So.
You've been better off placing the ear first, because it sits behind the ear.
No, it doesn't really help. So if I go there, oh, his nose was in the way. Right. So this one's going to come in here. Like so. Give it a little wiggle. Then we have the little you need patience at the same for this one. At this size. Okay. Come on. Trying to get the angle. Let's do it the easy way. Put the glue on there. So it comes up off the top of his ear, so glue's going to go back there. Oh. There we go. going a bit. Okay, you don't get in on the action yet. Okay. So then it's going to swirl that way. Bit more glue. Pokey tool. Okay, so as I said, I'm not going to stick my snowflakes, so it's just his little nose. And it goes pointy bit to the bottom.
Pointy bit to the body.
So do you want to just switch to display so everybody can see?
So that's what Natalie's working to. See, she's just done this little one down here. So all you got left is to attach snowflakes, and you can do those yet if you can do those later.
They'll just go straight onto the plaque.
Okay, so we're moving over to this one next. So we'll pop it back to you, ready for big one.
Okay, so again my white section I'm going to put straight onto here. And this time I think I'm going to start with the jumper and work my way outwards, might be easier. It will vary with each design as to which way works better, but so the little slotted bit is his neck, so that goes up to the top. Then we've got the head. Okay, and that bit fits in to the neck of the jumper. And we can do the nose.
I've done this down a little bit closer to the bottom.
Oh well. It's got the important bits covered. Okay. Then we have our tail section. Can you just check you can see this okay on screen?
Yeah, you can.
Okay. Cool. Then I have the leg that kicks back that way. I think that might not be that one. It's a good trick this. Good game. Good game played slow. Now I've got it right, because I can tell by the top. So a bit more glue onto that one. Really doesn't take a lot of glue when you're using the sticks to one. The temptation is with many glues is to kind of go all over and cover as much as possible, and you're actually better off to go and just do little dots. And it makes your glue last longer too. There you go, just nod that round.
Coming up to 2 hours. This is almost as bad as the Your Folks Counts used to be.
Okay.
Well, they were always long.
Well, usually we do mixed media for Your Votes Count, don't we? So mixed media always kind of takes a bit longer, and that needs to twist more around there-ish. I can see. So it needs to get there, like so. And then there's a little tiny blue piece.
Okay.
And it was from this section. That's from the scarf. I'll find it in a minute. It'll turn up. So eyelashes go to the left. Then we have that antler first, that's the whole one. That goes right along the ear.
Sandra's just so cute.
I think I might leave that leg like that and not bother trying to find the other bit actually, because it's going to be so small.
Yeah, a bit ridiculously tiny piece.
Yeah. I'll just do that more so I don't have to do it. There we go. Told you, I should not have gone back off to sleep this morning. I do not a little wild person. And then that little notch in there fits around your antler just here, so that's going to kind of dictate where that's going to go.
Over here.
Over here.
Over here.
So it's going to go like so. I can put up to that one there. Okay. So I'm happy with those. Now, what I was going to do is get the ScanNCut to cut these out, but do you know what? It might actually be quicker for me to do it. Do you think?
Yeah. Especially on that plane up there.
Yeah.
Do we get new ones?
Now, I'm going to need my other scissors, which are there. There we go. These should just feel a bit stronger, a bit more. Just do it roughly first. Perfect job, but no, won't be perfect. Bear in mind, some of your pieces may still be drying, so do go careful, especially with smaller pieces. Around his nose. And around there. There we go. And his ear.
Yeah, they are still available on craft bundles. If you click on the free files, if you spot the most relevant to price low to high, they come up quite early on the first couple of pages, so they're worth having a
yeah. They're worth having a little play with. Especially if you're a beginner, what I would say is to cut them one at a time rather than trying to do both. And use vinyl because it will help you with layering them up.
So are these both in the same file or are they?
No, these are two separate files.
Oh.
If you haven't put them up, I can always
I haven't yet, but I can.
put them up later.
Yeah.
When you're doing invoicing.
Yeah.
Okay. My scissors again to the point where they need a good clean.
Sticky again.
Yeah. There we go. So there's one. And that one's going that side, so I was right. And then so any other questions while I'm cutting these up?
Not at the moment.
Straight across there. Get them all out the new way. So because we've got white things on the desk, I'm trying to keep my waste well away. Saves losing bits when it comes to putting snowflakes on and things like that. Okay, now to get into these antlers. Then we have our little reindeer. I may just tidy up his feet a little, but let's just see how that's working out. Actually, do you know what I'm going to do? Into here a little bit, and it will look like I did it all on purpose. There we go. Yeah. So let's stick the snow on first. Go just there. Then we have another little bit of snow. It's going to go just there. And we can do our little deer. Like so. And if we just pop a little weight on him for a second, while we go and do the other little bit, I'll just hold it down. Can you see the other one there for me? Thank you. because you're dealing with a bumpy surface, it just helps just to put a little weight.
Ambitious enough to do, they're so cute.
They are. Okay. So our other little one is designed to go by the A, like so. And he has a little snowflake. Let's just see if I can poke the centre out. And that goes just there. Here's my pokey tool. Now the 3D PVA can actually retain its 3D properties, hence the name. So you can actually draw with it and sprinkle glitter on it and keep it 3D. So I'm not a big fan of silicone glue, but I do like this one because it's PVA, but it's still fairly thick. Okay. Get these little bits out. And we have one more that comes just under there. Come on, stop sticking to me. There we go. Okay. And let's do these snowflakes this side. So the little cut off one.
Back leg.
Back leg. Okay. Try and get the angle in the right place. There we go. And one more. There. And one more. Goes there. Right there. You can see now why I do the texture paste before I put those on. Otherwise they more likely catch.
Just dump it down a little bit so you can see the full.
Yeah, I'm going to just take those off there. And then we can bring that down. So now it just needs some sparkles, doesn't it? So hopefully our texture paste is now set. And I'm going to use some patina cream. So this is black pearl. And we can get in, reach the finger. We can go along our edges first. Like so. What are you looking at? Okay. And along this bottom edge here.
Find out when you're finished.
Do a bit on this edge here too. So this is going to give it like a subtle shimmer. If I can get my S's out. And in about half an hour that will be set and water resistant. So that's kind of important to note with regards to getting it off your hands. But if you go and wash it sort of nowish, then you'll find that it comes off totally. You don't get stained fingers. So that's one of the things I like about this one. So this colour's black pearl, which is like a sort of graphite. So it's nice for toning down and weathering edges. And you can even go right along the edge of your MDF, like so. And I wouldn't do it like a coating per se, but like little bits and pieces, especially if you've got like the texture paste gone around here. So you can go over the top and let your texture paste catch it. And you can do the same on the back too. So when you do get to the point of wanting to put somebody's name on the tag, you can actually then just write in that centre section with a Sharpie pen, or a paint pen would be cool. You know what would be cool on this one, don't you, Ian?
Come on.
The liquid chrome pen.
Yes.
Shall we try it? Before we get snow paste in it and go too thick.
Yeah.
Who should I put on the tag then? Or should I just do some snowflakes or something? Just to show. Right. Can I have a baby wipe to get me?
New.
Don't usually use as many baby wipes, to be fair, but
Especially not in one go.
yeah, it feels a bit odd not going and washing hands in it, but okay. But just clean up easy. There you go. Never would have known. Let's try. Did I put them in there? No, I didn't.
Next to your white dresser.
Ah, they're there. Let's try these out. See how good they are.
Thick one.
Thick one, you reckon? They're all primed, aren't they, anyway, so...
Yeah. Yeah, because you played with them all.
Well, just has to be done. Okay, so let's doodle snowflake. You can safely say working on MDF makes a difference, because you can see just how reflective that is. That is fab. Okay. Am I heading off screen, am I? I thought you were going to show it to camera then. Let's just put a little bit in there to build it up a bit more solid. I'm going to change to a thinner one to do some doodling around the outside so I can do some detail. Which one's the... There, that's the one up. So this is the finest of the fine. So if you like the look of these are by Molotov. And they're really shiny.
It almost comes out like foil, doesn't it?
Yeah. Unfortunately, they don't quite fit in your ScanNCut, which is what we were hoping they would do.
Nice.
They don't quite
We got them to
get there.
test, didn't we? But,
Yeah. Bits in here, and we can not the most even snowflake, but it's doodled. It's not going to be perfect.
I have to show that up to camera now.
Yeah, because at the moment it probably looks fairly flat. But if I do, let's see if I can catch it at just the right angle. There you go. Easy. How shiny it is. It's like a mirror. It's funky. And the more you put on, the higher the reflectiveness of it is. Okay.
It's quite something, isn't it?
It really is something. So.
It dries really quick too, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's alcohol based as well, so I've still got a little bit of dampness there. Let me just touch that up so I don't leave a fingerprint in it. Just in case somebody decides they would like to buy it. So all the projects that we make are available to purchase, aren't we? Because we're rapidly running out of room for all these samples. Rapidly. Okay. So you can even doodle into things like your Christmas with those two. So they'll go on most surfaces. And finally, just leave that a little longer to dry. And now that I've got it out, there it is, it's hiding. The snow paste. And I put my palette knife in the sink, so I'll get another one. So I have a little tiny palette knife here. And if you want to, you could go through the stencil the same way, but I'm just going to do a little bit in the corners. So you can kind of shape it with a palette knife and then just let it set.
Nothing in it.
So we got our
The pens we use, the Snowflake, are Molotow Liquid Chromes, and they're available on Amazon.
Yeah, you can also get them on CasArt.
CasArt as well. Yeah, if you have a local CasArt, they sell them as well. You can get to it if they're open.
I think they should be. Art stuff is essential. But no, you'll probably end up having to wait until December to actually be able to go into a store.
But we got the 3-pack, didn't we?
Yeah.
Can't remember how much it was. £18, was it?
Wasn't that expensive?
Wasn't that expensive?
No. No, it's more like 13. But yeah, we saw them shown, didn't we, on Instagram. So it's worth having a look at their Instagram and you can see what they've done with them. And I was like, oh, that'd be so cool if that worked in the ScanNCut, but they don't quite fit. Because it would be a really good alternative for the foil quilt, because they're really shiny.
Yes.
Now we just need them to do them in gold.
Yeah. Lynn says she loves the plaque, it's so cute.
Okay, so what I will do in a minute when Ian's finished with it is I'll pinch his iPad stand to let this dry on so that I can do both sides.
Just stand here.
I will need to stand here. So I'm just going to floof this up a bit. Now when your snow paste dry, it's going to dry really solid, and then you can go back into it with some glitter or snow, as in the fluffy one that you can put in baubles and things like that, so that you get a bit of iridescent. And I'm going to put the lip up in this corner too. So bear in mind that because we're still in that half-hour window, the patina hasn't set yet.
Apparently Sweet Poppy do them as well.
Which?
The pen.
Oh, the Molotow ones.
Yeah.
They're really nice though. Really, really nice.
Oh dear me.
So, a little bit more just on
Okay,
that
no
top
worries.
edge.
No worries, Ruth. So it'll be up on catch up, so it'll still be here later this afternoon if you want to watch it back.
I'm just going to push that down that way. A little bit more, just there.
It's time to dry.
There you go. Thank you. So with that, I think, let me just show it once more to camera. So that's it done, and I think I'm happy with it like that. because you don't want to overdo it. So, to go back through what we used, the Snowflakes, I have no idea whose it is. That's a fail on the old packaging. The patina cream is Black Pearl from Pretty Gets Gritty. The paints were Daily Art in Mint and Calypso Blue. The gel medium that we used for the rice paper was Pretty Gets Gritty. The gesso that we used to prepare the base is also Pretty Gets Gritty. And we used the texture paste as well, didn't we? And I popped it back away. So that's the thick texture paste.
And your cream pens.
And the cream pens, which is just here. So they are funky. Okay. So any questions before we go? Oh, and the stencil's pretty acoustic from Pretty Gets Gritty as well. There's human silence, so there's no more questions.
Mm-hmm.
So all that remains to say is bye bye for now. We will be back on Monday at 11 with another project, depending on how brave and how busy I'm still am. It may be me with something that's really challenging, or it may be Ian with something a little bit easier, because I won't be cool and make him do the difficult ones.
Thank you, Judy and Sandra, saying have a lovely weekend. Yes, and everybody else, and stay safe.
Yeah, I'm a little move around, aren't you, this weekend, so...
Yeah, it's going to be fun this weekend. Empty a unit, refill a unit, doing it around.
Yeah, and I'll be writing a book around you. Where do you stick me?
I might have to move you there and set a computer up on there for you.
Yeah. So, take care, and we'll see you then.